Hey guys, the video you are about to see is actually from my school community called the Muzik Collective. So if you want to see more videos like this and more content as far as this goes, make sure to hit the like button. And if you want to actually join the community, it's in my bio. There's a 7-day free trial. So you can always leave if you don't like it, but I promise you there's a lot of value in there and a lot of cool people that you can network with. But this video is going to be on EQ and the intros to mixing. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy.
All right, and welcome everybody. This is take 2. I already recorded this lesson, but when I recorded it, you don't really care, but basically the audio of the instruments were not loud enough. So I have to redo this. What we're going to be showing today is layering. So it's the idea that you have to understand, or you have to kind of put this in your mind when you're making music, that you have your low end, and this is the EQ. Just if you're not familiar with it, this is an EQ chart. I'm not going to explain it today because that would take a little bit longer of a video, but basically I'm going to use this as an example to show you the levels of sound, right? You have your very low end sounds, 20, 30, 40 hertz, all the way up to 20,000 hertz, 10,000 hertz, 8,000 hertz. That's very high pitched sounds. So when you're thinking of making music, you have to remember that you have all of this space to use, and you kind of want to take advantage of that. So today we're going to use the concept or the method of layering, and basically what that means is you start with a mid frequency, right? So something right in the middle, and then you add a low frequency and a high frequency, and together all of those sounds create one sound, and it sounds, a little bit, it has more depth, and it's just a little bit better on the ears. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to record a little melody, and then we will start to layer that melody, and you can start to hear the difference right off the bat. Alrighty, that's going to be our melody. I'm going to hit Q to quantize it, even though I'm going to have to drag these over because I recorded that kind of slow just because I couldn't move my fingers fast enough. I'm not really good on the keyboard. I'm just, still getting used to using a keyboard. I used to use my actual computer keyboard for the longest time, but now I have a MIDI and I'm trying to get used to it. So I'm going to quantize this on the first note, and we're going to hear what it sounds like. Just remember, you can use this to loop, or you could just simply click on this, or you can simply drag anywhere and loop it. We just want from here to there. Perfect. Now we're going to duplicate this track. All I did was right click, go down here. You can also do Control D, Control D. Now we have 3 of the same tracks. This is exactly what we want, right? We have our mid frequency. We're going to write mid. We'll put it in parentheses, mid. We're going to do a low frequency. And right here, we're going to do a high frequency. And then we're going to hit Control C, Control V, Control V. Copy, paste, copy, paste. Now, we're going to take our lows. Remember, this is the same notes as the one right here. So we're going to take our mid-frequency sound, and we're going to take it up an octave. Sorry, actually, this is low. We're going to take it down an octave, so to C1. Our low layer here is going to be a little bit too low for my liking. I kind of wanted it centered around C3. So we'll do this, switch back, and we'll move all these notes up an octave. So if you remember, the mid frequency is right here at C3, which means the high frequency needs to be at C4, and the low frequency needs to be at C2. Perfect. Now let's hear it, and you're going to hear right off the bat, it's going to sound a little bit weird. It's going to sound like it has a little bit more depth, but a little bit weird. So this is where we start to mess with the volume of each, and that's where you'll start to create a little bit of a smoother sound. So you ready? Hear that high pitch, a little bit too high for my liking. I'm going to turn it down. I think the low is still a little bit too high. High's still a little bit high. Mid maybe a little high. We can even turn that high down a little bit more. Emphasize that low. Perfect. So it went from to perfect. I mean, that's layering right there, guys and girls. Let's add a another instrument here, just so you can hear what's going on. Let's do a saxophone. I actually kind of like that little. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take all this, quantize it, right? Oh, 16. I like that. All right, now we're gonna take this, duplicate, or you can hit Control D, and you can take this, copy, paste, paste, and paste. Now we're gonna say this is our mid. Again, same thing. And honestly, you know what we'll do here is back all this, so it should be on the original. So what I did was I just put everything back to where it was, because now instead of layering with octaves, we can layer with different sounds. So let's take brass. Let's go trumpet for our no trumpet for our high, and then let's go tuba for our low. Mess with it, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm noticing is the trumpet might need to be a little bit higher. So we're gonna move it up. So we went from this which, by all means, I mean, that sounds great, but like, you could take that to it has so much more depth and emotion to it. You know, you can make it your own thing. You can hear that trumpet just whining. It's sound to emotion, and that is what layering is trying to get at. It's trying to get the emotions out of the sound. And you could do this, like I said, you could do this with just one instrument, or you can do this with multiple instruments with the same sound. It really adds that depth to your music, and overall makes your music have just more emotion and feeling to it.